morning, and thank you for joining us for this unbelievable Veterans Day ceremony. I'm Palmdale City Manager J.J. Murphy, and after last night, proud to say that Palmdale has been recognized as the most business-friendly city in L.A. County. It's my honor to introduce you to our mayor, Mayor Steve Hoffbauer.
I got the Papa, that's you. For those that didn't hear all the way in the back. Thanks, JJ. You know, so I got a large list, growing list of the many guests we have in attendance today. I want to thank our city manager, JJ Murphy, a major veteran from the U.S. Air Force. Thank you, sir, for helping arrange this today. Yeah. So we got a whole lot of dignitaries in the crowd, but the one that wasn't on this list here, the group that isn't mentioned, are the families of our veterans that are out there. And so before we start getting it, just all of us like elected people and stuff like that, can I have the families of our veterans please stand and be recognized for their service? Yes, I went off script. So we got our Palmdale City Council members are here today. We have from District 1, Council Member Austin Bishop. That's the Anaverdi, south side and central part of the city. From the west side, we have Council Member Richard Loa. We have from the far east side, Council Member Juan Carrillo. And I'm pretty sure she's watching over the live feed right now, but I'd like you all to give a hand to Laura Betancourt. So I got a bunch of other folks here, elected and their representatives attending today. From Congressman Mike Garcia's office, Christine Ward. And the guru of Veterans Affairs for the congressman, right? Yep. From Senator Scott Wilkes' office, Brandon Roquet. I say that right this time? All right. We have the one and only from his own office, Tom Lackey. Our state assemblyman. Nice tie, Tom. From my favorite county supervisor, Catherine Barger's office, my favorite deputy, Donna Tremere. Okay, let me go to, now I'm getting into the rest of the list here that they wrote so small I have to struggle. So we have my friend Michael Rees from the AV Hospital District and the AV College. Michael. We got Ralph Bellador from the school district and a veteran. Okay, let me look at my list here. Keep moving. We have, we have some planning commission folks here. So our commissioner, Christina Fragasans. Stacia make it? Oh, she's at the wall. Okay, so keep an eye on that for the wall coming up here. We've got Robert Alvarado from the Water District. Robert? Going down my list here. Okay, and all of you I missed. Who did I miss? I missed elected and appointed officials out there. So, all right. So, I think we got you, and if we didn't get you, somebody will get you. So, you know, it's my honor today to stand before you on this Veterans Day. Today, we're here to honor and thank every service member. If you're one of those veterans, it's not the families this time. This is the actual ones that were, you know, getting seasick or pounding mud. If you're a veteran and if you're seated, I need you to stand. And if you're standing already, wave. Veterans. One should have noticed a Master Chief here. How many stripes he's got on that sleeve there, huh, Chief? Thank you, Master Chief. So all veterans make a sacrifice to serve their country, whether it's physically, emotionally, being away from their loved ones, and missing important life moments. I got a good friend of mine that during Vietnam, he was kind of going through that book, MOS book, and trying to figure out what to do. He says, hey, I think I can keep from getting blown up if I be a weatherman. They forget that those forward air controllers and artillery guys, they need a guy up there sending up balloons. So much for that idea. But the whole time he was stationed in Yuma, Arizona, it never got invaded. Okay, so how about that? Today is the day we take to thank all of our veterans and their family members for their service. We honor them and we celebrate that sacrifice. That's what today is all about. So with that in mind, and to start this whole thing off today, let me introduce the Highland High School, California 944, our Air Force Junior ROTC color guard for presentation of the colors. Sir, it's yours. Now can we welcome Pastor Anthony Robeck, who will lead us in the invocation, and who's doing the Pledge of Allegiance here? Dean.
So we're doing the Pledge of Allegiance
Yes, sir.
right now? All right, if I could have everybody stand and place their hand over their heart, right hand over your heart, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I'm changing up the script here. Can I get Alexandra Money, our Palmdale staff, lead us in the national anthem, please? Should have read ahead.
It's okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Cadets Anthony Guzman, Edwin Albrego, Cameron Hilton, Danica Sager, and Diego Davis, led by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Cameron Hilton. Let's give him a hand. Let's welcome Pastor Anthony Robeck. He's going to lead us in the invocation. Then you can all sit down. Pastor Robeck. Did we miss him? We got another pastor they'll sub? Okay. And standing in for Pastor Robeck.
If everyone will bow your heads. Lord, thank you for the freedoms that the veterans and their families have sacrificed. Thank you for this day. Thank you for fellowship. And may God bless America. Amen.
You got the Right Reverend J.J. Murphy now, huh? You can be seated. Other duties is assigned, I heard. So let's also thank Alexandra Money and Dean Brown for the pledge and for the national anthem. So we've got, I'm going to bring up our council members. Can you handle Laura's part here as well as yours? Okay, I've got Austin Bishop. He's going to stand in for Ms. Betancourt, who we've only got a one-way deal for her, so every wave at Laura on the camera there. And Mr. Bishop will handle that and then cover his as well, sir. Sir.
Good morning, everybody. Well, today we would like to answer the question, what is the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day? Memorial Day occurs on the last Monday during the month of May, and it's the solemn time when Americans remember the soldiers that died in military service. During Memorial Day, we recognize those that gave their lives as the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. There is frequent confusion between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. The intent of Memorial Day, which occurs in May, has always been the honor to those who died serving their country, while November 11th, Veterans Day, recognizes the service of all Americans veterans.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Carrillo.
Thank you, Mayor. In some parts of the world, Veterans Day is known as Remembrance Day and Armistice Day. Armistice Day refers to the agreement that brought an end to World War I on the 11th hour, on the 11th day, on the 11th month of 1918. Although originally used to recognize the fallen, Veterans Day keeps its tie to the original holiday by occurring on the same day every year, November 11. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So now we've got Council Member Loa. Richard?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, of course, for being here. Today is the day we take time to thank all service members, those both serving and those who have served. And I'm going to take a little license here, but I also want to remember members of my family who served in World War II in Korea. That was Jesse Loa. He was part of the invasion of Europe. Raul Loa and Willie Loa, who were part of the invasion and service in Japan. Alfred and Fidel Loa both served in the Pacific during World War II, and Gil Loa, who served in Korea. The last survivor, Willie Loa, died this year. He was 94 years old. So I want to honor them as well and all the veterans that are here.
Hold on.
Thank you. We celebrate and honor Americans veterans for their patriotism, love of country, we need that right now, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Thank you all, and thank you veterans for your service.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and so I don't forget, my dad served on the Coral Sea, then I had a roommate after I got out of school that served on the same boat after they changed it and put an angle deck on there. And then my stepdad was in the U.S. Army, so I know they're watching us right now. Right now, I'd like to invite Carl Hernandez, First Vice Commander, VFW Post 348, to share some words for us today. Carl.
I was asked to read a poem, but my dog ate it. But I have something to say. On November 11th, we honor our living veterans. That veterans sacrificed their youth to serve our nation with duty, honor, and courage. Honor one's beliefs and actions one takes. Duty, a task required to be a person in position. Courage, the spirit that enables a person to face difficulties, danger, and pain. They entered the military as boys and girls. When they were discharged, they became men and women. They served as soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and the Coast Guard. And some very young, like in Vietnam. He was only 15. There are certain people today who claim our veterans have nothing to do with our freedom. That's BS. They served. They are so wrong. Without our men and women who served, we would not have freedom. We swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against foreign and domestic enemies. Excuse me. We have many veterans who wish to forget their time they served. Many do not even want to talk about it. And I don't blame them. Many have come home wounded, and even the wounds you don't see. Like right now, we have many with PTSD. Have you ever wondered why the flag of our nation is folded in a triangle? Well, our forefathers wanted the flag be folded in a proper way, in a triangle. That our young nation, our forefathers, and our nation was founded by God, showing the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. When you see a veteran today, or any day, thank them, thank him or her for their service. Let them know they are not forgotten. Even today, when I see a veteran, I thank them, even though I am too. But it means a lot. It really means a lot to them. In Vietnam, we were not welcome, but I'm very happy that our veterans today are welcome. For a veteran, it means a lot, for they gave part of their youth and their life so we can all be free. And I thank you, and that we, excuse me, that we serve for you. Finally, God bless our veterans, our nation. God bless our freedom that these men and women gave us. And God bless our nation. And God, please keep us free. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you, sir. I don't want to be remiss in forgetting my wife's dad in the U.S. Navy and my granddaughter's daddy, a Navy veteran, and proud he does something over at the plant. I don't know what it is. Can't talk about it. Yeah. So I would like to get now call up our 2021 Veteran of the Year for the City of Palmdale, Kevin Sanders. He's going to share some Okay, all right. You guys, go ahead. Just walk slow so you get it off. So I would like Kevin to share some of his reflections on this year's Veterans Day. And Kevin, I also want to thank and salute you for your service. Sir?
Thank you so much.
Okay, you bet. You're on.
So many friends here today. It's awesome. Love you, Les. First off, thank you very much for inviting me to be here today and to share some of my experiences and information with you. I'm grateful to the council, to Mr. Mayor, and especially J.J. Murphy, the city manager. Love working with him. You know, he's one of those guys that just gets things done. So I'll tell you up front, I'm not a professional speaker. I did do a speech earlier at Lancaster this morning, so I guess I'm all that. But it was came out better than I expected. Usually this is reserved for colonels and generals and congressmen and politicians, you know, not some guy that was a Marine veteran 40 years ago, but 45. But I promise you this, I'll give you my best. I studied, I researched, I prepared, I practiced, and I want to give you my best, and hopefully you'll come away with some new ideas about what it's like to be a veteran and what you can do to help the veterans that are here among us today. Veterans Day is about the veterans in front of us. As I said, Memorial Day is about those that have passed. And I'm grateful to be a veteran. I'm so grateful to be a veteran. A few things you might not know about me. I used to jump out of perfectly good aircraft. Static line and free fall. All solo, I never did a tandem. That's for sissies. I was a certified search and rescue scuba diver. I was a partner in a bikini manufacturing company. We manufactured in Mexico and sold them on the beaches of France. I lived in France a little over 4 years as a civilian contractor. That's all I'm going to say about that. I was married once or twice, and okay, 3 times, but twice was to one girl. So I mean, the second and third was the same lady. I was living in France. I was working on a missile boat for the UAE Navy, teaching them how to shoot airplanes and boats. And she was from New Zealand, and we met there. I moved back to my permanent home in France, and later she came there. We married. I moved here, and 2 years later had a wedding with her family in New Zealand. So that's kind of just a little snapshot of what my life has been like. The first one I married on the Queen Mary, and that lasted all of 9 months. Like a school year, right? She had to get back to school. I'm not a former or ex-Marine. I'm a Marine veteran. And I think all of us that served in the Marine Corps would like to be addressed that way. Last night we had the Marine Corps birthday at Bravery Brewing. Hoorah! Where's my Marines? There we are. So appropriate that it was in a bar because the Marine Corps was founded in a bar in 1775, Tunn's Tavern. They got a bunch of people together and they said, wouldn't it be fun to go on boats and shoot people? And they said, yeah, and they called it the Marine Corps. It's important to note here that in addition to laying the first unknown soldier at Arlington, 100 years ago today, this month, this day, this hour, it was also done in England and it was also done in France. And that was at the same hour. It was to commemorate the more than 100,000 people, American soldiers, who lost their lives there and are still buried there today. There's a phrase I like to use, and I didn't write it, I stole it. In fact, it's on the t-shirt I'm wearing today. What is a veteran? It's any person who, at one point in their life, wrote a blank check to the United States of America for any amount up to and including their life. That's a big ticket right there, you know? And I like that. It just couldn't get any more simple than that. Several years, I didn't set the timer, so I'm going too long, somebody tell me. For those of you who know Air Force Brigadier General John Tykert, former commander here at the base, former F-22 pilot, call sign Dragon. One day he was there at Coffee for Vets at Crazy Autos on I, and he was serving coffee. And for a Marine, a general serving coffee to a Marine, that just doesn't happen. And he introduced himself as John. And I said, that doesn't happen either. He said, you can call me Dragon. I said, okay. So he said that day, words I'll never forget, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And that touched me deeply, deeply. And I think that often when I see other veterans. Because today's Veterans Day, we celebrate those among us. I'd like to bring up a couple veterans that I know here that walk among us today. First and foremost is City Manager J.J. Murphy, the retired Air Force Major. J.J.'s just a guy that gets things done, and I'll tell you a little story about him in a minute, but I'm proud of him. I am so proud of him, and so proud for the job that he does for the city of Palmdale, and how he works with the council and with the mayor and all the staff. And he has my ultimate respect, and I'm proud and honored to call him my friend. Another hero of mine, a local hero, is Juan Blanco. Juan, would you stand up? Juan too jumped out of perfectly good aircraft. He was a paratrooper in Germany. He and his lovely wife Ace, my dear friend, they started Coffee for Vets several years back. We meet once a week, Tuesdays at 7:30 at Crazy Autos on I. And they work tirelessly throughout the week to make sure it's success. Athrun is also the, help me Juan, she's the civilian counterpart to the base commander, right? And the honorary commander, thank you. It wasn't in my notes. So they're great people, and I encourage anyone that hasn't been, put that on your bucket list. Come over and see us at Coffee for Vets every Tuesday morning. The third I'd like to recognize is Congressman Mike Garcia. He was Navy, but I like him anyway. This man flew F-18s off the Nimitz into missions in Iraq. If you've never seen a catapult launch off a carrier, it's something to see. They get everything ready, they get locked into their seat, whatever, and they get the go command, and this catapult, this massive steam catapult, throws them off the ship, and they absorb about 5.5 Gs of their body. And they go out and they do their missions. They have to come back and land on this little tiny ship in the middle of the ocean. That's something I'd like to do, I'll tell you. That's one of the things I've not done, but I'd like to get some training first, you know, but you can tell them I said that. The biggest giant of all, my dear friend and hero, is Tom Hilsendigger. Tom and his wife Megan founded Vets for Veterans about 12 years ago, and they've done more for anyone than I know in this community, helping veterans on a personal level, one-on-one. They'll provide food, pay a utility bill. We've given away 5 cars. I'm a volunteer, I'm not on the board, but meals. For the last year and change, I've provided meals once a month to 50 to 60 veteran families that really count on those groceries, you know. It's food they wouldn't have had without the help of Vets for Veterans. Tom did so much for this community, and he set a legacy that just before he passed, you know, on his deathbed, I promised him and others promised him that we would continue his legacy of helping other veterans. And he taught me the meaning of altruism, doing something for somebody without expecting any in return. It was a big word to me. I'm a Marine. I had to look it up. I'm serious. But once I did, I understood that's what I did anyway, but Tom put a word to it. Tom put an image to it, you know. That's the way he lived. And he taught me a lot, and I miss him. So recently I got contacted by a person, an official at Palmdale Regional Medical Center, and they said they wanted to provide meals to veterans on Thanksgiving Day. I said, that's a noble gesture. I like that. Thank you. They said, can I help? And I said, I'm sure I can. Let me ask. So I reached out to Vets for Veterans, and with help from a couple others, we were able to get it together. Anyway, what I'd like to say is that I volunteer with a group of individuals and organizations that share the same philosophy as me, whatever it takes. And Vets for Veterans personifies this, whatever it takes, right? These are people that when they get the request to help a veteran or a group of veterans or pull off an event, whatever, they're the ones that make the calls, set the meetings. They show up, they get the information, they do the research, they get up early, they stay up, they work late, they work the weekends. They'll do whatever it takes to make sure it's successful. So that's who I'm working with on this project, and the city, the hospital, and also Palmdale High School. So we got into a little challenge, I guess, a week or two ago, and we had to buy the turkeys right then, the next day, and we had a place to put them. Where are you going to put 100 turkeys? Anybody got a freezer, right? I sent a text to JJ. He asked me 2 questions. And 7:30 that night, he's still working. And he introduced me to Patricia and Kathy over at Saves. And we were able to buy the turkeys the next day and store them. And I'm happy to tell you that on Saturday, November 20th, 100 veteran families are going to get a turkey dinner. That's the kind of people you want to hang around, right? That's the kind of people you want to get to know. People that you can count on. People that hold you accountable. People that make you grow. And that feeling of helping someone without expecting anything in return, you can't get that anywhere else. You can't buy that, you know? Giving your kids a Christmas present that they wanted and see them open it, take that times 100. You know, there's nothing better than that feeling. You see, it takes a village. It takes a village. And we take care of our veterans as much as we can. We needed money to buy the turkeys. So I shared the story with my dear friend Darlene Trevino at Trevino Law Firm and Harry Engel at Fry Chiropractic. And they just said, we'll take care of it. Just like that. Not how much is it? When do you need the money? What are we going to, who's going to get nothing, right? We'd like to help. We'll take care of it. Just that way. Again, that's the kind of people you want to get to know. That's the kind of people I like to hang around. Last, I'll say thank you for your service, right? For years, people would say that to me, and in my head, I would say, you don't know me. You don't know where I've been, what I've done. You know, what about these people that were in the jungles of Vietnam or landed on the beaches at Normandy? You know, I can't take credit for them, you know. And Dennis Anderson back in '03 said, why don't you just say thank you? All right, I could do that, you know. And so today I want to share with you, if you want to say thank you to a veteran, and that's good enough for you, that's okay. If you want to give a couple bucks to that veteran on the side of the road or at the intersection, you know, and that makes you feel good, that's okay too. But if you think you want to do more, if you could do more, if you should do more, I've got some suggestions here for you, you know. Get involved with a veteran support group, like Coffee for Vets. Vets for Veterans. Vets for Veterans. I hate microphones, I hate them. If you can't volunteer time or effort or energy, then donate money. You know, they know what they're doing. They're vetted, and not one person takes a dime from this organization, and I admire them for that. Don't you cry. There's other organizations here that are good, but these are the 2 that I support. Elect politicians that support veterans. There's a lot of good support here in Palmdale, and I respect and admire you guys for that. Steve has been just amazing in things that he's done for us, and some of you others also. Tom, Scott, you know, Mike Garcia, Congressman Mike Garcia. They've been wonderful, and they're making a difference in people's lives. Let me say, if you have a family member, a neighbor, adopt them. You know, go by once a week. Go by once a week, and maybe work with some people from your church or your neighborhood, and bring them a home cooked meal. When I had my heart procedure, I was home recovering, and the veteran community brought me meals every day, home cooked meals, or made sure I took my medicine or things like that. I could never repay them for their care and their love and for taking care of me. All I can do is pay it forward. Introduce yourself. If you, where's Myra? If you see that old man or woman, veteran, are we good now? Are we good now? At the store, wearing their hat or their vest or something, you know, that identifies them as a veteran. Ask them their name. Ask them what they did, where they went in service, what they learned, when did they serve, where did they serve. Ask them if you can come by and check on them or call and check on them once a week. Partner with some other people and you know, adopt them, right? Some of us, like I do, live alone, and it means a lot to us to know that somebody cares enough to go to that effort. These veterans have written a blank check for anything up to and including their life, right? And so that's just a small way to pay them back, a small way to go above and beyond. Thank you for your service. If you need to know who to contact or how to contact, there's many people here right now that know these two great organizations and others. And I encourage you to get out and help them and do what you can for them. Ironically, it's interesting that Vets for Veterans was working on a grant to feed 50 to 60 families groceries once a month, and that grant ran out in October, and we didn't know where the money was going to come from to feed them in November. And along comes somebody that wants to do 100 meals, right? God provides always, always. We are now working on where to find the money for December, for Christmas, but I'm sure that it'll come. I'm sure it'll come from the right place. I think I've gone over my time, and I hope I'm not getting a timeout after this, but what's next for me? I believe I'm in the final season of my life. I want these next few chapters to really count. I'm looking to cash everything out in the next few months and go on the road, traveling in a motorhome, seeing my friends, family, in-laws, outlaws, Marines I served with, and end up on a boat in a marina, fishing the Pinelands somewhere, you know. That's kind of my dream, and that's where I want to go. So I want to thank you all for being here today, for supporting these veterans, for the city for putting this on. I think it's a great way to thank the veterans that served. I hope I've given you good value for your time. I hope you'll walk away from here with maybe some better ideas on how to help those veterans to go above and beyond. Thank you for your service. And that's it for me. May God bless you always. Appreciate you.
Man, it's like following an act with kids or dogs. How do you do that? It's thanks very much. You know what? I want you guys to give Megan a hand here. He mentioned her, but man, I tell you what, she dug in, and she was the strength behind Tommy there. Thank you, Megan. So, JJ, I think you're coming up, and you're going to close this out for us today. And there's a lot of folks I know that they're sitting out here that deserve the introductions. When you see these guys wearing their colors, they're out there bringing guys home that might not have anybody else there to bring them home. So thank these riders. Thank you. JJ.
I think they're going to play the Armed Forces medley. And service members, stand up when your song is played. Navy veterans. Coast Guard. Marines. Oh, Air Force. There we go. They're out of order. I don't know why I follow the script. There we go, Marines. Okay. Again, thank you all for joining us today to honor our veterans. Let me recognize Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt's daughter and grandchildren. Bailey, thank you for joining us today, and know that everyone's praying for your mother in her fight. All right? By being with us today, you have done many things you can do to honor and thank veterans for their service to this great country of ours. You have taken the time to show up. I hope this is just one of many stops you have planned today in honor of Veterans Day, and I know I've seen some of you, to include the mayor at a previous ceremony. As a veteran myself, I also believe this is a good time to thank families of our service members, as they too sacrifice time away from their loved ones, often serve in faraway lands, missing many special moments together because of the decision they made to serve our great country. I thank my own family who are over there and all military families for that sacrifice. Another way you can show gratitude to a veteran is by donating, whether financially or by volunteering your time, to one of our amazing veteran organizations here in the Antelope Valley. These groups serve our local veteran needs, and they can always use your help. If you see a veteran, take the time to ask them about their service. Kevin, did you write this? I feel like you stole my script here. John, we got to talk later. Many of the veterans would like to share a story or two, but like Kevin said, some don't, but you can hug them or you can just be present with them. Give them the time over a cup of coffee or an invite to share a meal. I would like to recognize a special group today whose dedicated service to veterans often goes unnoticed, the American Legion Riders. Would you guys please stand? Oftentimes, they'll ride a veteran to their final resting place. And that's an honorable thing they do. Sometimes there are not a lot of other family members there with them. But something they also do is they show up when veterans come back from being overseas. And I still remember when my daughters, 4 of my daughters, Reese wasn't even born yet, were there when I landed back in Pennsylvania by myself on a plane. And I see my family, but the first thing I see when I come off the plane is all these veterans who I didn't know, who showed up to say thank you. So to the Legion Riders, thank you. Thank you all for coming out to help us celebrate our veterans. And I hope you take your thankfulness and share it the rest of the day and every day with the veterans here in our community. Thank you for coming, and this concludes our ceremony.